Hello everyone, this is Cookies. I've got turn 84. I forget exactly where this was. Oh, we've done arcane analysis on stellar focus. So I believe we're in the process of putting up our big globals, finally concluding the long journey to our meme, and then we're gonna try to invade the world. So this turn, Utterdark does indeed go up. We cast Arcane Analysis on Stellar Focus because we're thinking about dispelling it to make room for Enchanted Forests. We do see 2 battles this turn. So we've got a large Nidavellir army killing PD. And then we've got a battle at the Fortress of Dunheim. This is a Conjuration discount site. So I imagine Nidavellir is going to be pretty happy about this place. They brought a pretty significant army, but most of what's left are fire elementals and a little batch of mages. Sorry about that. Had an alarm going off in the background. It looks like a fair amount of gear on these mages. So we got a whole bunch of earth boots. We've got skull staffs, different water boosters. We've got some dwarven hammers. And then Nidavengir's brought a whole bunch of troops, a lot of expensive gear, a fair number of gems. So he's going to be doing all the big spells, but it should be pretty lopsided, so. So just really quick, we got Hell, Rigor Mortis, Relief, Divine Channeling, Grip of Winter, and Light of the Northern Star. This battle is not going to be close, so. Or we do have an ancient presence here. It has been turned into a commander. It's only got 200 HP. Alright. So Nidavellir clears out the fortress. Does lose 1 apprentice and 1 Nidbethed. Kills a bunch of mages. We get a report from Melma. And it turns out that the Froststone blasted the enemy spellcaster and killed him. And after a fair amount of confusing investigation, it looks like it's only been Galegate that's been triggering the hurricanes from Galegate that's been triggering my domes. It's not been other people casting spells into them, like scries, at least that I know of. And this caster was actually the Galegate caster, which was like a Tengu king. And so Galegate also went down this turn. So we still get hit by some hurricanes. But then when we go to look at the global list, Galegate's not going to be there. We have a bunch of units cursed. Patrol out a scout. We have a couple of scouts patrolled out. Okay, and we couldn't afford upkeep. So our trolls are starting to desert us, and that's fine. I'm not going to take the effort to walk them back over to Archytas. But I am thinking I don't have a nap with Ba, so I think we're just going to start attacking them Now that our globals are up, I want to try to make some use of them. So I think maybe not this turn, but next turn or something, I'm going to end my nap with Calum. And attack orders haven't gone yet as of recording, so I think it's in a couple of turns that we end the nap, but should be able to go through these turns pretty quickly. But here's the global list now. So we've got Underdark, Well of Misery, Galegate goes down, and Forge of the Ancients for Machaka also goes down. So there's actually still a slot open. And I am a little bit concerned that people are going to try to fill this slot to prevent us from, maybe we end up bumping Enchanted Forests. Maybe they suspect that we're going to put up another global. So I've alchemized all my gems. And we're going to use the arcane analysis on focus. And the remaining pearls, and we're going to go ahead and dispel Gift of Health and Stellar Focus. I am very concerned about Nabaa putting up Purgatory, so I'm only going to be invading them with expendable stuff, at least for now, until I can maybe get rid of Eternal Pyre. But we're going to go ahead and get started on that. And then, yeah, we're going to go ahead and start getting moving. We do have that peace agreement or NAP with Nidavellir. I'm not going to end that with him until he finishes off Machaka or he decides he wants to end it with me. That is part of our NAP conditions. I put up level 9s. He can end his NAP with me. He just has to tell me he wants to end it, and then we can go ahead and attack each other without the cooldown. And then I'm going to shoot, assuming Shenu can end it whenever he wants, but I don't have any plans to attack Shenu right now. If he wants to fight, we can fight. But he was the one that guessed what the meme was. I had to give him a few turns of heads up so he could forward all this. So generally speaking, he's going to be pretty immune to Enchanted Forests. And Underdark hurts, but he's got cave income from Abyssia, so he might be better off than some of the others. So he might be okay with this, or at least be willing to put up with it. And yeah, we're going to get attacking pretty soon here. So you can see the 2 dispels that we're doing, also doing Enchanted Forests, continuing to get people off the payroll. Also trying to keep making new liches. And we've got Forest Stones going up. So we've got a lot of stuff in garrisons. We've got more stuff than we've got commanders for stuff at the moment, unless we start consolidating research boosters and mobilizing Black Dryads. So, I mean, it's a nice problem to have. Generally speaking, we've got troops all over the place. But then I guess we can take a quick look at graphs. So provinces, forts, income, gem income, research, dominion, army size. And yeah, let's go ahead and jump to turn 86. All right, so I've got turn 86 put up here. We dispel successfully Gift of Health. That was the one I guessed on. Then we dispel Stellar Focus. Enchanted Forest goes up. And then we get a global from Shenu, the only one who tried to move in and block our global going up. Maybe getting it to bounce. And then we've got a few battles, and then Enchanted Forests. We've got some combat. It's It's gonna be hard to find stuff now. Okay, I guess it just fled. It was probably in crow form and I couldn't find it. All right, we've got a large Naba army here. All these troops cost upkeep. The Vanguard won't desert from lack of upkeep, but all these troops will, and the trolls. So, might not have to worry about some of that stuff for long. And in Green Harbor, we got Nidavellir storming a fort. Garrett the White Mage. That's pretty cool, White Mage. It's just a large PD dump. And then let's see if we get any interesting enchanted forest rolls. We've run into a very heavy PD dump and bounce. Another very heavy PD dump. Maybe we can watch Oak Beach. Yeah, it's just a lot of PD. I mean, we do have some odds of something like this succeeding here pretty soon. Alright. And then... yeah, generally speaking, enchanted forest going out and doing a little bit of damage. Potentially claiming some provinces. This is an incredible amount of PD. We got some shades attacking Nidavellir. Apparently Underdark can create shade attacks. I didn't know about that until I saw that. We've got some sort of plague spreading around, which gave us some gold. We got a robe of invulnerability, which is cool. And then our ghost kills our Black Dryad. I'll show you where that is. That's actually a little bit inconvenient. And we patrol out a couple of Naba scouts. Alright, so this is our new... These Dryad hags make incredible carrion ladies. But... so that was right here, I believe. Or where was it? The wetlands? Okay, maybe it was somewhere else. Surely, oh, I guess it was here. She was picking up a bunch of stuff here. Or moving it and just died. So, or I guess she was patrolling here, so she had sacreds and whatnot. Which is a little bit annoying. I guess I forgot to move in new white mages there to patrol. I might not have fixed that, so I might need to fix that in my current turn. Yeah, you can see we did some raiding. We got, I don't know, like 30 gold from it because of Underdark. But, you know, it's a little bit of an annoyance. It helps our Dominion, at least a little bit, because all these forests turn into temple checks for us. So hopefully it's undermining some of the Nidavellir and Machaka Dominion here. Maybe we can start spreading our Dominion through here. That'd be pretty cool. And then we're also trying to build back up our gem banks a little. Here's the Globalist Cistern. You can see Gates of Horn and Ivory. One up for Shenu. And so you can see our provinces graph starting to tick up a little bit. And then we're going to launch our first attack against Naba. So we're going to send in 2 cavalry groups and a raiding group. Mostly, you know, we've got like a little bit of an arrow formation here. mannequins out in front, but then faster groups on the flanks. Then we're going to back it up with repeated fast follow-up. So yeah, well, I mean, we'll see how this formation works, if it runs into anything. And yeah, I think that's it for this turn. In terms of foraging, a couple of rings of fire, we're going to get Fenris's pelt and a random carrion seed. I just want to see, I didn't feel like making a test game for it, so we're just going to try it, probably on like a Hydromancer. And then we're doing a little bit of witchcraft and whatnot. Forest Dome. And I think that's it for turn 86. I mean, we've completed the meme. Enchanted Forest is up, Utter Dark is up. We still got Well of Misery. And I think right around here, we end our nap with Calum. I mean, we'll know, you'll be able to backtrack and count when it officially ended. But I think it works out to a timing where if I send an in-game message, I told him through Discord, but I give him a couple of choices. He chose to have an extra turn. So it's like I sent it through Discord or through in-game message, and then he received it on the next turn. And so that's how we're counting the nap 3. So I don't know, probably attack orders on like turn 89 or something. I don't know. But yeah, we're gonna fight the 2v1, and then maybe Shinu can try to take this throne, and Nid can finish trying to kill Machaka, and then yeah, we'll see if we can have a war against them. But yeah, at this point I've done my meme. I just want to fight people now. I've spent way too long just huddling up, building up mannequins. So I think we've got almost 10,000 mannequins. Just so many, so many mannequins. So let's go ahead and get to using them. And so we've got 300 heading out for good old woods. And then pretty soon here we can try to flood over Calum. And that should make it a little bit easier to get into Nabah as well. So we'll see about that. And we'll also see if Nabah pulls out the purgatory trick on us. I'm expecting it. I'm expecting to lose some stuff to it. Hopefully not valuable stuff. We can see we did indeed forget to go pick up these sacreds here. So that's it for turn 86. Let's go ahead and go to turn 87. Alright, so I've got turn 87 pulled up here. We get another lich. We're getting like 1 lich a turn. Otherwise, we're also twice burning some stuff. I don't know. I'll keep going until my upkeep's positive, even in Utter Dark. I don't care. And then, yeah, and then we've got some fights. So we attack Good Old Woods. You can see our formation here. It's just a little bit of PD. No patrolling forces. And we actually don't lose anyone, which is shocking for mannequins. Nid kills some knights. And then I guess storms a fort and loses some stuff, probably to the archers on the fort walls. We've got some enchanted forest raids. So just kind of popping through these. I don't think we hit anything other than PD. Well, I guess this is a whole army. So, so our little pack of trolls getting out there, finding the main one of the main stacks. All right. Then we've got another raid on Mountains of Madness. Another raid on Shiniyama. The plague is still going. Frankly, I don't care. I don't really have population. We do gain a temple from it, so far the plague's actually been net positive. Based on where that temple is located, it's a 600 gold temple, and we've had a gold event too, so it's plus a couple hundred gold. And a lot of the minus events have been on depopulated provinces where we don't get any income anyways. So, although I guess some of this is in cave provinces, but I mean, I'm already patrolling it, so that should help with the plague stuff. All right. So we're going to go ahead and patrol here in case anything moves in. And we've got new little groups heading out from the throne. So two raiding groups here, complete with a little wyvern detachment. And then over here, we've got 3 raiding groups, complete with another wyvern detachment. So just trying to get a move on through here. And we'll see how we do. I mean, this stuff is still sieging down this fort. It is cracked, though. And then Nineveh's got Green Harbor cracked. So we'll see how that does. And then no movement on the global front. We're going to go ahead and try to save pearls. I think I want to overcast Gates of Horn and Ivory. And we're doing arcane analysis on it. Because I think the third piece of the puzzle I'd like to do, if I can get a hold of Gates of Horn and Ivory, is I would like to go ahead and do Dreams of the Awakening God and just do a big Dominion play, which is, I mean, that's something Shenyu could try to do. You could probably get away with casting that under Utter Dark and Enchanted Forest. I might have a hard time keeping my Dominion up then, and then maybe they could Dom kill me and they don't have to fight all my mannequins. I'm lichifying this Dryad Hag, and twice borning another, so continuing to get hags off the payroll. In terms of what we're forging, couple rings of fire. I think I forget to do an artifact this turn. Doing the arcane analysis, we've got some other stuff. I also just don't have a lot of gems this turn still. Although there's probably an artifact I could find, so maybe in like water or earth. Alright. So I think that's it for turn 87. I'll go ahead and pull up my current turn, which is turn 88. Alright, so here's turn 88. We've got the arcane analysis. It's a very weak cast. Just barely, maybe like 10 overcast. So I think we can beat that. We drown a couple more hags. We've got some wolves. We defeat the wolves, I guess, with 1 PD and whatever was generated there. This is one of the provinces raided by Enchanted Forest. So it's got a little bit of our dominion here. And I guess the stats in darkness are so bad that the mannequins were able to hold off versus the wolves, which is another nice side effect of Utter Dark. And then it gets retaken by this Quaddle and a bunch of Solus. We can go ahead and, generally speaking, it's mostly different armies killing PD, although I guess there's an interesting battle in Green Harbor here. So here we've got a lot of the elemental royalty. So we got the King of Magma, Staff of Flame Focus, Staff of the Sun, another King of the Flames. These are obviously the player has not really been playing because he's got all the water gems from this thing on it. He hasn't been pulling those off. And then we've got the King of Banefires. Fire 9. So this is 4 boosters. So I think that's from Fire 5 to Fire 9. So it was probably for big Flames from the Sky cast, but also potentially a Purgatory defense. And we've got the Trident from Beyond. And then we've got a bunch of fire gems on this guy because he's got a fever fetish. And a disease grinder, so a lot of loot passing hands here. But other than gym baiting this army, I don't expect too much to change. So Rigor Mortis, Hal, Relief, all the stuff this army normally casts is coming out. And they're getting Soul Slayed. Alright. So Knight of Anger clears that up. And potentially we could get something like a Queen of Air finally. Which would be a nice little power boost for us. I imagine mannequins with Army of Mist would be pretty good. So, but otherwise, oh, and we do have another little shadow attack. I should pull up the description for that. We have a sage come and join us from the plague, so now we've gotten a free mage too. And we got more gold. It's immediately disappearing into upkeep, so we're not actually getting much. Okay, so we got Barbarians in Felden Forest and a Sectarian Movement in Bycliff. So Bycliff is here. This is Calem's land, and our nap has not ended, so we don't care about that. And then Felden Forest is up here. So this is going to be our force here to try and deal with the Barbarian attack. And then we've got a raiding group here that's going to go ahead and raid here. Another little raiding group is going to split off for here. We're going to ping the capital, but we're not going to raid it yet. And we've got a little raiding group here. And then we're moving on this fort with 2 raiding groups and some wyverns and just see what we can see. But other than that, we haven't even moved in any sacreds yet, just some wyverns. So it's been pretty low commitment so far. Maybe like 6 air gems, and otherwise mostly free spawn. And I guess 2 harpies, which we can't really replace anymore, but yeah, I guess we can slowly get them off the payroll too. I still haven't sent a leader to go collect this stuff, so I think we need to queue that up. Alright, so this lady can come down here and collect all this stuff. She's got 175. Okay, we have 285 things here. We might need a second commander. So maybe we move this off on someone else too. We send her. All right. And that should be enough leadership to pick up everything in the wetlands. And actually, what I should do is, unless this gets magic phased, it would actually make sense for us to do advance and cast, because then everything here will appear in the center. Maybe we can actually bless these Carrion Furies. Actually, what I'll do is one will stealth and the other one will do advance and cast. All right. And so we've got a growing number of liches and carrion things that we don't have to pay upkeep for, which is beautiful. And some of them can even reanimate. Like every time we do a dryad, we can reanimate with it, which is also neat. So the formerly panic ones can prioritize army fighting. We're also trying to get some of these Sino shamans off of the payroll. So doing a couple of transformations on them, on the nature 2s. Let's see, for casting, here we go. I guess this turn we're trying to overcast Gates of Horn and Ivory. So I forget what the cast is for this, but I think it's enough to outroll it. Because when I think it was 7. So if it was 17 over, and we're doing 85, which isn't that much more. It's 15 over, which might not be enough, I think. Because it's plus or minus 5. So if it did happen to roll minus 5, then we'd want to be plus 10. So it'd be plus 17 on the base cast. Which would be 77. Okay, we're at 85. So I think that's plus 8, assuming that roll is weird. I think it would make sense to alchemize some stuff. Maybe nature. Because I am thinking about doing a Vengeful Waters cast too. But I think the main plan is for dreams. So I think maybe we alchemize water. Oh, that's hard though, because it's 4 to 1. Yeah, I think we're just rolling it, and if it doesn't go, then we might be in trouble. Let me see, 56 divided by 4 is 14. I mean, 14 should, I think, help guarantee us. So that might be worth it. All right, let's do it. And let's go ahead and put this to pearls, or glamour gems, sorry. All right, so let's go ahead and grab Gates of Horn and Ivory. Now, this is still well within the range of getting stolen. But I guess if they're stealing that, then they're not looking at Enchanted Forests and Underdark. So let's go ahead and see if we can pull this off. Because if we can get Gates of Horn and Ivory, we can look at Enchanted or Dreams. And we would have 44 income a turn. So if we just held it for like 3 turns, we would have our income back. And we've already got dreams researched. So we could do like another mass alchemy for Dreams of the Awakening God. It's 90 to cast. So we probably want a decent sized cast for that too. Maybe like a few hundred. We'll see what we can get here. I imagine somebody's researching arcane analysis to check on my overcast for Enchanted Forests and Underdark. I'm hopeful that it's going to be difficult for them to rally the overcast to get to Underdark. I think Nidavellir can. But maybe if I'm attacking Calum and Nabah, maybe they won't be able to share enough gems to dispel Underdark. I'm not sure. But we'll see. And then we've almost got enough air gems. I mean, we're getting close enough. We might take a stab at trying to get a Queen of Air. Getting a Queen of Air would be a huge deal for us. So, and actually, where's it's like Dunheim or something? I think I want this guy to scry on that discount side again. Where was it? I think it was Dunheim. Because that's where the Conjuration discount side is. So, the Ashen Fields. So if we can scry this and maybe see if Nidavellir is summoning a Queen of Air. I mean, we see another one here, but I would love to get one. So, all right. So I think that's it for this turn. If I do manage to take Calum, maybe I can take like part of Nabah, like wherever my Dominion is. I think I have to be more careful with Nabah than maybe I do with Calum, but we'll see. Calum's Titan can also cast Purgatory, so we do need to be careful with Calum as well. I think everyone remaining in the game can do something like Purgatory or a lot of Firestorm. Nabah can definitely do a ton of Firestorm. So we'll see. Right now we're kind of taking advantage of, I think, weak player morale, and we're just trying to push that a bit. So, all right. So I think I've corrected that. In terms of foraging, we're getting the Ruby Eye this turn. Because why not? And that was the artifact that was just lost. And in terms of what we're casting, a lot more of the usual. And yeah, I think that's it for this turn. So I'll go ahead and see you guys in the next one in turn 89. And we'll see if I can stay ahead on the global game here. I think it's really hard to do if everyone's focused against you. I think theoretically they should be able to dismantle this global lead that I've got. It just kind of depends on how long. And in the meantime, let's try and make what hay we can. So we've definitely got the largest armies now. So let's do stuff with them. I will see you guys in the next one. Have a good one. Bye.